and thought, there's my mate Alex. Used to live next to him when he played for Everton. I know him. I used to see him on the school run. I'll give him the ball. And he's just given it to him for God knows what reason. And he's turned a very safe situation for us where Andy Robertson has the ball and is not being pressed in a left-back position and has a number of good out balls into now panic stations. So Iwobi gets the ball, has a shot. Ibu does really well, makes a great block, and the ball flies up in the air. And Andy Robertson has seen this situation unfold, and he has thought that he, Andy Robertson, and he alone can fix this. He's made the mistake, and by God, he's going to fix this. Everybody out the way, Super Robbo is on the case. And he's come hurtling across as the ball loops in the air, and he produces one of the worst defensive headers you'll ever see. So having played one of the worst passes you'll ever see, he's now doubled down on that with one of the worst defensive headers you've ever seen, where he plays it directly back to Alex Iwobi again, because Alex, you had your shot, but Ibu was mean and blocked it. Let me give you back the ball, my friend. So now Iwobi has it, and now he's in our box. And Ibu squares him up. So Ibu squares him up, and Gravenberch is coming across to lend a hand. And there's a runner to Ibu's right, Iwobi's left. And Ibu has to step to stop that ball to that runner. Otherwise, it's a simple ball and someone's in 1v1. So Gravenberch's job here is now to get as close to Iwobi as possible so Iwobi can't get a shot off. And instead, he decides to do a John Travolta impression. And he's shaking his leg and waving his arm around in the air. He looks like a cha-cha dancer. Do you ever see them? He looks like one of them, waving his leg around, arm up in the air, as if he's terrified to get hit with the ball. And because Ibu's had to take that half step to his right, Iwobi now has a gap to shoot into because Gravenberch hasn't filled that gap. But not to worry. Not to worry. As he gets his shot off, it appears like Caoimhín Kelleher is going to save it. It's not a really well-struck shot because he's trying to shoot with the ball static between his feet. It looks like Caoimhín is going to save it. What Caoimhín hadn't factored in was that Andy Robertson was still at large. Still in the I, Andy Robertson, and I alone can fix this mindset. He comes across and deflects the ball into his own net. Absolutely magnificent fucking stuff from Robbo. 3 times in 1 goal. Tremendous stuff, son. Well done. But it wasn't over there. Wasn't over there. We still had more fuckery to get through. It's a Fulham set piece. Gets half cleared. Goes up in the air. Everyone starts to push out. Van Dijk is under the ball. Literally under the ball as it's dropping. Muniz gives him a gentle nudge in the back. It's not a foul. I'm not suggesting it's a foul. It's a gentle nudge as he takes a tremendous first touch to play it back into the box for himself. Virgil, far too weak, stumbles, doesn't recover properly, and Muniz finishes well, but it's a tight angle, and I think Kelleher should do better, personally. The blame is on Virgil, but I think the goalkeeper should do better. Now, again, I don't know if he's capable of doing better. I think Ali saves it. They're 2 very different things. Ali's a much better goalkeeper than Caoimhín. Caoimhín's a good keeper. Ali's an all-time great. Either way, not a good goal to concede. But again, like I say, the blame on this one is on Virgil because you're 6'4". You're built like a tank and you're getting bullied here. And this comes off a midweek game where you had a couple of really shaky moments. You can get yourself together, Virg. You had a week off before these games. And this is why the whole "they're tired" thing annoys me. They had a week off between the international break and this. Gravenberch had the entire international break off. I'm not accepting that he's tired. I'm just not. I'm not accepting that any of them are tired. They had a week off. They played Everton. They had 4 days. They played this game. Like, no. Just no. They now have 1 game a week for the next 7 weeks. 1 game a week. Every week on a Sunday for the next 7 weeks. They had better get their acts together. They need 11 points from those 7 games to secure the league. And it cannot slip. Now, fortunately, the next 3 games are pretty straightforward. West Ham home, Leicester away, Spurs home. West Ham and Spurs have nothing to play for in the league. They are abject. They're going to finish bottom half. They've been so bad, they've almost made Manchester United look competent this season. And Leicester are going to be relegated, and there's absolutely nothing they can do about it. So, all going well. We should win those 3 games. There is no reason we should not win those 3 games. And I firmly believe if we win those 3 games, we will win the league. Because if Arsenal draw 1 more game, that drops our magic number from 11 to 9. And I think Arsenal will drop points in one of their next 3 games. And the reason for this is they're playing Brentford next Saturday evening, but it's in between their Real Madrid games. And I think he will rest players for that Brentford game. And I think they'll drop points in that game, meaning 9 points becomes our magic number. I also think they'll drop points against Crystal Palace because Palace are really good away from home. That's the 23rd. That's a makeup game for them because Palace have an FA Cup semi-final or something. That's the 23rd of April. I think they drop points there, which would drop our magic number to 7, which doesn't really make any difference because it still just means, well, it means if we draw with Spurs, we'll win the league. We wouldn't even have to win it, but you still want to go and win it. You still want to go and win the game at home and win the title on a win. But I think they'll drop points against Brentford, which means I still think we're going to win the title against Spurs on the 27th of April. That's my prediction. We win the title the 27th of April against Spurs at Anfield. What else do we have? Oh, Virgil van Dijk has revealed there is progress in his contract talks, which is really, really good. Really, really good news. And hopefully that one gets done. Salah form, not a worry for Arne Slot. Mo will show up again. It's on you to get the ball to Mo, though. So you have to figure out ways for your team to function so that we're actually getting the ball to Mo in, good situations, not shit situations like we did all game until Elliott and Bradley came on. Saudi club still pushing for Luis Diaz. He was really good against Everton. He was really good when he came on yesterday. But yeah, absolutely sell in the summer and get as much money as you possibly can.